Welcome to another Creaky Gamers Battle Report. It's Warhammer the Old World.
Okay, welcome to another battle report. I recently went to a 1500 point tournament at a local RSL, and hats off to the organisers. Fantastic little private room we had, and the tables were fantastic. The terrain layout was using the square base layout and everything. Very well run, great club to go to, all brand new, bistro and nice lunch, and you could have a beer and so on. Air-conditioned comfort, a dream Warhammer tournament venue. Anyway, so I took my Tomb Kings, 1500 points. I wanted to use my War Sphinx, brand newly painted War Sphinx with the War Crew and bow, 4 crew on there and bows and spears. Got a unit of 10 archers. Behind them is my Hierophant, who is only a level 2, and that was a bit silly. I think you go into a game, you need a level 4. If people are bringing level 4s, you have to have your own. Anyway, there's some horse archers. I thought they'd be good, sneaking around, throw some few shots. And then I got a big block of chariots, and the Tomb King is in there, and he's got the Talisman of Protection and the Ogre Blade. And the chariots have got the icon of Rakaf so they can reform. So I thought the chariots would be pretty good. And then we've got the obligatory Necro Sphinx. He's hiding behind the woods. And my main thing with this list was going to have ambushing. Always going to ambush with the Scorpions and the Tomb Swarms. So they're in ambush off the table. And our first opponent is Bretonnia. So have a quick look at the Bretonnians. He's a fairly new player, so don't give him a hard time about his painting. Some archers and some more archers on the hill with their longbows, some men-at-arms, trebuchet, some questing knights I think they might be, and a damsel in the back. And then he's got a duke, a battle standard, and 4 peg knights. So that's the Bretonnian list. So you get quite a bit. I'm not sure what items he's got on them, but you can't go wrong with some Pegasus Knights and a Duke and a BSB with that 360 degree charge. So we'll see how the Tomb Kings go.
Let's go. Turn 1.
Okay, so Tomb Kings go first, and not much happens. We just move up. There's sort of a big rock in the middle of the table, sort of splits my force. I've got the Necro Sphinx way out on one left flank, hiding behind some woods, and then I just shuffle up here and do a bit of shooting. So maybe do a couple of wounds to his knights or something. But that's pretty much it. My Hierophant's just going to try and avoid the Pegasus Knights. And you can see my Necro Sphinx hiding behind the woods there, all he's shooting on the hill. I'm going to wait for my ambushes to come on before I commit the Necro Sphinx. And then he's just going to swing around the other flank, not in front of the chariots with the Pegasus Knights, and they're going to end up behind me. And there's my Hierophant way out on the flank. So that'll be turn 1. I lost a few archers and a chariot. And that's it. Okay, so yes, that is the end of turn 1, and his peg knights have gone around. We've got this objective in the middle of the table which we have to be near at the end, but I don't think we're going to worry about that. It's a bit of a learning game for my opponent. He's going to see what things do and so on. He's removed one of my chariots and half my archers standing on the hill. And my Hierophant is way down here trying to stay away from him because I've only got a level 2. He dies to a stiff breeze. And he's not going to be doing much dispelling anyway against his level 4. And that's pretty much it. We've done a little bit of shooting either way. But we're set up for turn 2. I don't know which way I'm going to go with the chariots. Do I go forward towards the knights? Or do I worry about the Pegasus Knights coming around my flank? I'm being outmaneuvered here so far. Let's see what happens.
Turn 2.
Okay, so we're into turn 2 and Incantation of the Desert Winds. Maybe I can try to keep the Hierophant away from the Pegasus Knights. I got lucky. All my ambushes came on. One Scorpion's come on here to threaten his knights. but his knights are going to charge out of the way into the War Sphinx, and then his Duke and BSB are going to come in and kill that Scorpion. So that was a bit of a mistake. Got a bit cocky there with that Scorpion, I think. The War Sphinx has trundled forward, and we're just putting some shots into the knights. I think they're Knights of the Realm or Questing. I don't know, whatever sort of knights they are. The damsel's in there as well. But he's going to go crazy and charge the War Sphinx with the knights, just to see what would happen. Then further up the board, up the other end, so there's the War Sphinx, there's the chariots, there's the knights. They're going to go into the War Sphinx. The Duke and the BSB are going to go and kill my Scorpion. And then I've got a bunch of ambushes have come on behind his archers, and the Scorpion. And then the Necrosphinx has jumped over the woods, and he's going to get into the action soon, maybe. So there we go. His knights have gone into the War Sphinx, and the Duke and the BSB into my Scorpion up there. There's the Duke and the BSB into the Scorpion. There's my ambushes have come on behind his archers. So it'll be up to the War Sphinx to come and attack this flank and see if the War Sphinx can hold. He painted War Sphinx, and he's been charged. Alright, so we'll have a look at turn 3. This will be the final instalment, because turn 3, 4 and 5, and I think we ran out of ran out of time because I was a bit late. So my fault. So in this turn, my chariots charged in, finished off his knights with his damsel in there. My War Sphinx has only got 1 wound left, and then his Pegasus Knights have come up behind me here, and I've tried to shoot them with my horse archers. My Hierophant has flown all the way up here to try and hide behind his coffee cup. So maybe the Hierophant will be forgotten about, and I can hide the Hierophant up there in his dead pile somewhere. That's my tactic. Then the Necrosphinx has jumped over here, and he's just murdering men-at-arms, and his archers and everything fled away from the charge from my Tomb Swarms and Scorpions. So these guys have come on, charged them, and all these guys have run away to fight another day. And then the big thing now is that the Duke and there's the Swarms and the Scorpion have done their job, right? They're all fleeing, and then these guys, because they can charge 360, they're going to come into the chariots. The only bit of luck I have here is, there's the Hierophant hiding over in his dead pile here. The Duke and the BSB are going to go into the front of the chariots, and then I have a bit of luck here. The Pegasus Knights fail their fear test to charge the rear of the chariots, which would have made a big difference, I think. We looked it up and checked it out. Because they outnumbered them, they needed to do a fear test. I thought the Pegasus Knights would cause fear. They've got everything else, that 360-degree long bomb charge and everything. So they failed their fear test, so they didn't go into the rear. So there's the Duke and the BSB are going to be fighting the Tomb King. And so there's going to be a bit of a challenge on there. There's the Necrosphinx doing Necrosphinx things. The archers moving up. But there's going to be a challenge on here. The Duke is going to fight the King. And the King will actually probably survive it with 1 wound left. And you can see here, the Pegasus Knights went in and cleaned up my horse archers. You can see my dead Hierophant there because his Duke was losing the challenge. But I don't think he might be wounded. But he flew over there. He fell back in good order or something. Or fled because I outnumbered him, whatever. Anyway, the Duke got away, and then with a 360-degree charge, he charged my Hierophant in the dead pile, hiding behind the coffee cup, and killed him. So my army was going to start to crumble. I think the War Sphinx is dead. The King's only got maybe 1 or 2 wounds left. The chariots are beat up. But the rest of his army, all these peasants have run away. The Necrosphinx has cleaned all them up. So the Necrosphinx and the Swarms and everyone has cleaned up his peasants. His knights are dead. His damsel's dead. But my Hierophant is now dead. So that's the final position of the game. The Pegasus Knights are alive. They're behind my lines cleaning up my archers and my horse archers. My Hierophant's dead. All I've got is the Necrosphinx, the King, and the Chariots. And he's lost a lot of stuff, but he's still got the Duke. I think the Duke's alive and the Pegasus Knights. Maybe I ran down the BSB or vice versa. Anyway, I have no idea who won. I think it was a draw. I think we called it a draw. We had to finish early because I turned up to the tournament late, so it's my fault, really. I got the start time wrong. So anyway, it was a good game. We'll call it a draw. I can't remember the result. Maybe he was in front. I have no idea, but it doesn't really matter. It was a good learning game for him. Hopefully he gets his army painted, and we see him next time. I've signed up for the next 1,500 point tourney at the same venue in November. So hopefully we'll have a rematch then, and I'll bring a tougher Hierophant. That Hierophant level 2 is a bit of a liability. Anyway, stay tuned for round 2 and 3, where we face Dark Elves and then Dark Elves again. All right, thanks for watching. We'll call that a draw. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching another Creaky Gamers production. We hope it wasn't too bad.